Ladies and gentlemen, the big board draft is close to filling on Underdog, which means we got to squeeze in a few more entries here on Best Ball Breakfast. The draft focus and my new fantasy football reality show. So You Think You Can Tout has been announced. Applications are open now. It's going to be a great Best Ball. I'm Pete Overzet. Do it.
Welcome to Hot Best Ball Summer. You slurp that suspension dipperino, honey?
Easy to click on Rashad White when it's all site credits.
Exodia.
Put the puppy in the bag, bro. I'm trying to grow the goddamn game.
The game is beatable, folks.
Slap King Summer, bitches.
7,000 hours of commercial-free best ball drafts starts now.
All right. I went to tip people off in the Discord that I was going to hop in a big board draft off the rip, and I was the 12th person to register. I was the 12th person to register here. So no friends and family in this one, although I see some names. We got Trevioli in here. We got Chris. We got Aaron. We got Goods. I'm drafting from the 108 here. And you know what? I kind of like this suggestion here from Dan. Dan says, are we doing zero RB first 5 rounds for the culture? You know, we've been talking about this a lot lately. I talked about it last week on the stream. I asked people to send me in some zero RB builds. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. You know, I'm always, you know, I don't have that many bullets in here. You know, am I gonna throw one away from the gimmick? But let's think of it as research. Let's think of it as research for the community. Is it possible to build a strong zero RB squad in this current landscape? My existing thesis has been no, that it's too hard to do. But we are going to give it a shot here. What's up, Toxic Tower? What's up, Andrew? What's up, B Stocks? Who Hames? MacNova, 94% full. People already drumming up support for their favorite touts. Love to see it. PPR Tyler had a very good submission video, although I am a little concerned about his nutrition, his ability to buy groceries, or I guess lack thereof. What's up? What's up? Yosh has been enjoying the audition videos. Yeah, I've been posting a lot of them on my Twitter, trying to share as many as I can. Feel free to tag me if you apply for the show. I'm also going to be highlighting a few of them. I'm going to make a video. My kind of first reactions to the reception, some things that I like, some things I don't like, things not to do, answer a few FAQ questions. So I'm going to work on that video this week, and you guys will be able to see some more of my thought process in that video. We're on the clock here. CeeDee Lamb is going to be part of our zero RB plans. Let me go ahead and get the solver pulled up here. Got to get logged in. And then we'll get back to our draft here. If you guys missed it last week, very excited to be working with the solver this summer. I used their tool nonstop drafting battle royales this fall, and excited to be using their tool on stream this summer for all of my best ball drafts here. This is the overlay tool you're seeing on screen. I even got my exposure synced up here as well. You guys can get 20% off with promo code Pete if you sign up for their monthly packages. They have them at a couple of different price points. Happy to answer any questions if you guys have them here. Let me actually make sure too my my exposures are fully synced. I did a draft on Saturday night on After Dark. And all right, we are on the clock. So we're not going to do Hampton. We're not going to do Love. I've not taken Neighbors yet. I've been like a little skeptical, GM full for week 1 availability, but if we are going to do zero RB, if we're going to have 5 wide receivers or, 4 wide receivers and a tight end here through 5 rounds, then, I think maybe we can survive Neighbors early. Although I'm immediately thinking I probably should have just taken McBride or Bowers there and locked in that elite tight end. It is what it is. All right, let me go sync my exposures here just so I'm up to date. And then if I refresh this, we should see my updated exposures here in the solver, and I can keep tabs on what I've done in these drafts so far. And me change this to the window as well so we can toggle back and forth between some tabs as needed. And then I still need to pour some coffee here as well. Normally, I come into this show hot, a few cups of coffee deep. For whatever reason, I have not had any coffee yet this morning. So you guys are catching me with my first coffee pour. Lou Dog, who's helping me out organizing submissions, says we got another submission this morning under video. It simply said no. That is, unfortunately, that is a sticking point. If you want to apply to a show that is requesting a 90-second application video, I love the idea of shooting your shot, though, of like, what if just me writing my name and a few bits of information about me is enough to win Peter over? I love the confidence there. That's for sure. J Mike always asking for one win from the weekend. We did a ton of Easter activities. I showed some of them on After Dark on Saturday night, but we did an Easter egg hunt. I think April did Easter egg hunts on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yesterday, we were at the in-laws. She was playing with her cousin, ate way too much chocolate, got way too many gifts, but she had a blast. We had some carrot cake. My mother-in-law made rack of lamb. It was a good time. It was a good Easter. So, yeah, feeling full heading into today's show. Did you miss the coffee pour? No, I'm about to do it here. Let's see. I just want to take something. Yeah, we're going to keep taking wide receivers here. Tetaroya, T, Garrett Wilson, Igbuka. Obviously, we could take Allen as part of this, but let's grab Tetaroya McMillan. So here you go. This is what a true zero RB start looks like. CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, and T-Mac here. Actually need a little water before this coffee. All right, everybody's begging for the coffee pour. I got you. Hopefully that scratched that itch for all of you guys. Where did Rice go? Yeah, everybody wants to know about Rashee Rice these days. He went to the one-hole drafter at the 2-3 time. So Rashee Rice with the news that no suspension is coming. He is now moving up the ranks here. TD likes T-Mac to outplay his third-round ADP. Yeah, I think he's fairly priced, but I think on the phone. I think we can easily be drafting Mr. Tetaroya McMillan in the middle of the second round next year if things all go to plan. Here's what I'm going to do, though. I kind of regretted not taking the tight end just for structural purposes. When I do zero RB, I like having that elite tight end. I missed out on Bowers and McBride. So I'm going to grab Colston Loveland here. Let's see, what 2v2 do we like better? Because it would have been McBride, and I probably would have taken Zay or Devontae. So do you like McBride with Zay or Devontae, or do you like Neighbors with Loveland? I think I like McBride with Zay or Devontae better. I'd probably take that one back, but Neighbors with Loveland, maybe higher upside, higher late season upside for sure. If you get wide receiver, one potential from Neighbors when he gets healthy and Loveland continues to be a destroyer of worlds. I guess it's pretty close. Index likes Neighbors, Loveland. Yeah, okay. People are telling me that my mic has been cutting out a little bit. Thank you for this. Let me make sure I'm all situated here. Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3. Mark in chat. Let me know if it keeps happening, and I can try a little bit of a reset if I need to. CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Tetaroya McMillan, Colston Loveland. We are trying an experiment here to pull off a true zero RB draft in these big board streets and see if we can cobble together something that doesn't look dead on arrival. All right, it seems like you guys all like the Neighbors Loveland side. Okay. All right. Maybe I need to I think it's just I've been a little spooked on on Neighbors in that injury, but maybe I need to, I don't know, put on my week 17 is all that matters cap. Let's see what's available. So this is going to be the last round where I am going to abstain from taking a running back. Certainly some strong wide receiver options here. Although, man, I would like to do an elite quarterback here would be nice too, because that's actually the other tricky thing about zero RB in this landscape. It's not just that the good running backs dry up. It's also that a lot of the strongest picks throughout the rest of the draft are wide receivers. We've talked about that pocket of wide receivers between like 100 whenever Omar Cooper Jr. goes, and you want to leave spots available for them. So I'm actually going to go elite QB here and try to keep some spots available for wide receivers. I'm going to grab Jaden Daniels here in the 5th. And now we can take the shackles off, and I am allowed to draft running backs per this exercise that that Dan here suggested at the top of the show. So here we are, running back less through 5 rounds. Jaden Daniels, CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Tedaroy McMillan, and Colson Loveland. Let's see if we can make it work, folks. Let's see if we can make it work. Gab says he doesn't get the concern about his readiness. If there was no concern about his readiness, he should be going like 1-7. Like he should go right after JSN. Like he is, I think he's the most talented wide receiver in the NFL. I think there's definitely concerns about his health. That's why he's going in the 2nd round and not, top 7. All right, yeah, let's grab a running back here. DeAndre Swift, best available by ADP. Solver likes it, giving it its top Solver score of 10. I need a running back. DeAndre Swift, come on down. Ooh, there you go. This is another little bonus. Who Hames points out we get the divisional correlation with Lamb and Neighbors. Don't hate that. Double elite QB. I mean, who would be the other elite QB? I mean, if I had a stack, I would consider it. Obviously, Dak with CD makes sense. Dart with Neighbors. Bryce Young's later. Caleb, I guess. Caleb's already off the board. Caleb went. Yeah, so Caleb went right ahead of me. That could have been an option, but I do really think in this build I needed to lock up a Swift. To me, there's kind of a little tear gap there from Swift and Harvey down to the Chuba Ramondre, Jalen Warren. So I actually feel kind of fortunate to get Swift there at pick 65. Let's see here. The 5-hole FBG started 3 straight running backs: CMC, Jeremiah, Love, Jacobs. This is actually I have not seen Love fall this far. Have you guys seen him at 20? I feel like every time I've done a draft, and granted I've only done like 15 or so, he's kind of stapled to the beginning of the 2nd round, pick 14, 15, maybe 16. I do not think I've seen him at 20. The contests that are still open, they did drop the War Room 2, which is already filling rapidly, 52.5% full there. That's a 4-entry $25 contest. Little board is, I'm shocked that the little board hasn't filled yet. I thought this was what people were all screaming for. Has everybody maxed the little board? It's only 62% full, $3 tournament. Bigger board, dollar draft is at 92%, and I am on the clock, so let's figure this out. I think we will, man, maybe we will just grab our quarterback. Let's do the Jaxson Dart with Neighbors thing here. Let's do Jaxson Dart with Neighbors. So we'll go Jaden Daniels and Jaxson Dart, DeAndre Swift running back, CeeDee Lamb Neighbors, Ted Arroyo wide receiver, Colson Loveland tight end. I am going to have to start just clicking running backs, even ones I don't like. Sound is still off, huh? Mic is like muffing itself anytime you speak a little bit louder. I'm assuming it's a StreamYard problem. Thank you, producer Mark there. Let me make this pick and then do a little refresh on my StreamYard screen for a second. My mic settings look completely fine and normal to me, so I'm gonna try to figure out what's going on here. Test, 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 test. All right. Keep me posted, Mark, in chat, and I will do my best to fix this. I'm gonna do a refresh after I make this pick. Which running back do you guys like in this range? Algier, Rico, Monangai, Dobbins. Algier seems tough for me. Rico, ugh. Solver likes Dobbins. Let me just take Dobbins. I don't know if I feel strongly about these. Algier, Rico, Monangai, Dobbins, Corum. I'm going to take Dobbins here. I do think like the Broncos certainly seem like a candidate to draft another running back late, but to me, that's more an indictment of RJ Harvey and less so of what the team thinks about Dobbins. I think Dobbins would have had a massive workload in those playoff games had he been healthy. So we'll take a stab on Dobbins. It's kind of funny playing opposite, the Monangai and Harvey rookie hype. We got Swift Dobbins. Let's try to lock out some touches, and then we can start blasting. All right, I'm gonna refresh this real quick and see if I can get the sound to be better. All right. Let me know, Mark, if this feels or sounds any better. I truly don't know what's going on there, so keep me posted on that. I will do my best to keep troubleshooting on the fly here. It seems like most of you guys except Jake agreed that Algier wasn't the pick. Tyler liked Rico. Nick liked Dobbins. It seems flat in this range. And I guess the good news for me, at least so far, is these guys are all still on the board. Since I took Dobbins, Algier's the only other running back to go. We've seen kind of a string of wide receivers. Rico goes here. So our zero RB experiment heading into round 9. It's actually interesting because you always think zero RB that you're going to be loaded up with wide receivers. I really just went with those 3 high-end guys and then took the elite tight end detour there in the 4th for Loveland, grabbed Daniels in the 5th. Didn't love the running back options in the 7th round when I took Dart. But I do actually feel like I'm not in dire straits right now as far as having to catch up. I kind of feel like I'm in a good balanced spot. Sounds like the mic is much better. Good to know. All right, I'm really sweating that Corum falls to me here. I feel like this would be a huge win. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Obviously results are going to vary based on, what running backs you can get if you're not taking a running back through 5 rounds. But getting Swift at 65, Dobbins at 89, obviously I reached for him, and then Corum comes back to me at 104. Like I think we can make this work. Daniels, Dart at quarterback, Swift, Dobbins, Corum at running back, Lamb, Neighbors, Tetaroya, McMillan at wide receiver, tight end, Colston, Loveland. Nick, I agree with you on this take about Corum. I wrote up, we were just submitting for the 2026 Fantasy Life magazine, and you have to write these pieces well in advance. And I basically made that argument that the gap between Kyron and Corum is just way too big right now. So yeah, I'm with you on the Corum stuff. Let's see here. Do another wide. I want to keep grabbing running backs. Let's take a stab on Jadarian Price here. I don't mind QJ. He falls 10 picks past ADP. But again, I think making sure I'm getting some of these upside profiles here at running back after, being behind the 8 ball makes sense. We'll grab Jadarian Price here at pick 113. All right, we got YouTube members trying to frame mog each other in the chat. Mike Rob says only 3 years, emo. Kind of shameful. Wow, shots fired. Dang. All right, people say the mic is back and rolling. Good to hear. Sounds like it was a StreamYard issue. Everyone's so eager to crown the RB2 on Los Angeles. I mean, there was a stark difference between Corum's role in year 1 as a rookie, in which case he was not used at all. And in year 2, specifically down the stretch, he was direct 50-50 splitting goal line carries for Corum during with Kyren during very meaningful games. And I think the way things have been trending, at the very least, Kyren and Corum's ADPs should be closer together. Like, based on what happened last year, they are being drafted as if last year didn't happen, as if we're just coming off of 2024. That's what the ADPs look like to me. We have meaningful data points pointing in the direction of Sean McVay wanting to rely and give more touches to Corum, who was more efficient too on a per touch basis. So I think you're kind of free rolling the cost of Corum here. I think he's going to give you standalone value in an offense that's going to score a ton of touchdowns, and he's going to be part of those goal line opportunities. You still get the usual injury upside that any running back in this range gets, and you get some equity of flippening because he's just a more efficient runner, and the team continues to trust him more in year 3. So I do not see a lot of downside, and especially in like a 0 RB build like this, like the fact that I can get some standalone upside as well as the usual contingent stuff you'd like. All right, Tyler comes up with the 43 months here. We're about to be back on the clock again. Man, that was quite the run there. Omar Cooper Jr., Gainwell, all go. I'm going to do Boston. He's a little further down, but again, I think all of these guys who are projecting for round 1 draft capital are just massively undervalued right now. And I do want to continue to build out this wide receiver room for this 0 RB work. I need to be jacked up at wide receiver. So we tack on Denzel Boston as our wide receiver 4. Through 11 rounds, Jaden Daniels, Jaxson Dart, running back DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins, Blake Corum, Jadarian Price, wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Ketteroy McMillan, Denzel Boston, tight end Colston Loveland. And I do think, I'm not saying I did it perfect, but I do think if you're doing 0 RB right now, it's actually being patient at the wide receivers after getting the 3 or 4 up top. Because using most of my 16th, 17th, 18th round picks on these rookie wide receivers who are projecting for day 2 capital. All right, let's see here. I am on the clock. Let's get another rookie. Jonah, you know what? You know what I need? You know what this team needs? It needs Chris Rodriguez. I need to, if we're gonna, this is what life's all about. If you're gonna, be anti-Kyren, then you got to take the Corum side. And if you're not going to draft Tootin, we got to get ourselves some Chris Rodriguez at pick 137. Tyler says the downside to me is the lack of Corum getting a full load and passing on guys that can get that without injury straight up. I guess my question is, look at the board after I took Corum. So I took Corum at 104. Who is that guy that you're talking about? after. Who do you take over Corum here? So Rashad White goes 117. I take Price at 113. Jordan Mason, Gainwell, Aaron Jones. I have a hard time liking any of those players over Corum. All of them have their own kind of timeshare issues as well. I think it's fine to quibble with Corum relative to some of these other guys, but like at this spot on the board at 104, when you're desperate for running backs, like who is it? So we now have 5 running backs. This is the 0 RB room. Does this 0 RB room make you want to vomit, or do you think it can work? DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins, Blake Corum, Jadarian Price, Chris Rodriguez. I was torn there a little bit. Like I was like, do I go Rodriguez or do I go Jonah Coleman or Mike Washington, both who went a few picks after me? But again, I felt I already took kind of the rookie swing with Price, and I'm probably still needing to build out some running backs who are guaranteed to be touching the ball. So Rodriguez probably a decent course correction there. So a 0 RB team where I now have more running backs than wide receivers through 12 rounds. All right. Let's see. Aaron, I doubt Aaron's going to take Isaiah Likely here. I have not taken Likely. I have Jaxson Dart. Solver prefers Strange to him, even with the correlation. Likely does show up as the third. Travis Hunter goes, so I don't even have to deal with that. Let's stack up Jaxson Dart with Likely. He's both an ADP value, fits that tight end 2 need there. I think pairs well with a Loveland. I'm not like super bullish on Likely in this situation. I feel like it's going to be more of the same compared to what we had in Baltimore, but I got this giant stack. Why not tack him on? And tight end does get gross fast as well. And now we kind of have the flexibility at both quarterback and tight end to be done, I think. Here's the squad through 13. Daniels, we still have naked. That's something to keep an eye on here. But not a big deal to have naked Jaden Daniels. Jaxson Dart is with Neighbors and Likely. We have Swift, Dobbins, Corum, Jadarian Price, Rodriguez at running back. Wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Tedroy McMillan, and Denzel Boston. And then Loveland and Likely at tight end. I might do Bill here. I have we're still building out this running back room. I don't have any other kind of correlation. Solver slightly prefers Debo, but they have both Bill and Debo high scores here. I still have not taken Debo Samuel yet. I think I'd just rather take all those round 2 rookie wide receivers than Debo. All right, there's Bill. I mean, we might even be done at running back. We could maybe add a 7th. We're through 14 rounds, but Swift, Dobbins, Corum, Jadarian Price, Chris Rodriguez, and Bill. Do I get I get Washington backfield 2025 correlation with Rodriguez and Bill there. Jadarian Price to the commies. Oh no, sorry, Jeremiah Love to the commies. Yeah. Let's see what Friedman has in his most recent big board. Although Matthew Friedman, shout out Friedman, just had a baby. So let's see Cody. Cody's mock draft is up here. He has Jeremiah Love going to the Titans. That's been a popular one there. But yeah, I could see Titans. God forbid. I hope it's not the Giants. Definitely Commanders certainly makes sense. They're at 7. Saints, Chiefs now off the board there. Let me see what our other mock drafts here. Yeah, Friedman's old one, March 25th. Yeah, so he hasn't updated recently. Thor did one for us last month. He had love going to the Giants when he did his. All right, so we need some updated mock drafts in here is what I'm seeing. So here's the question for you guys on this team. I guess at this point, I am probably just rocking the 2 quarterbacks, Daniels and Dart. Where did Bryce Young go? That would have been the other one that would have made sense with Ted Arroyo. Where did Bryce Young go? Bryce Young went pick 143 back into round 12. So I would have had to have taken Young over Rodriguez. And I think I still needed to prioritize running back there. Man, I could just actually grab another wide running back here. I could go with James Conner. Huh. I kind of don't mind the James Conner thing. It's just funny how man, I didn't feel good about that pick. I just don't like these veteran wide receivers. I mean, who are your guys' favorite wide receivers? This is the board right now that I'm staring at with wide receiver after I just take James Conner as my RB7. Booty, Calvin Ridley, Tyreek Hill, Tank Dell, Christian Kirk, Darnell Mooney, Malik Washington, DK, Malik Washington. I think I'm just going to get into these rookie wide receivers here. This is how I feel. Once Diggs, Judy's gone, it's all the same. I think like guys like Kirk and Mooney, you know, if I have Purdy, if I have, you know, if I have stacking stuff with them, maybe they make sense. I guess, okay, maybe Mooney with Dart makes sense. I was racking my brain for a second of where Mooney plays, but I actually think this would be one of those spots. I need wide receivers. I have Jaxson Dart. Maybe I'd pull the trigger here on Mooney. We can do that. I think that lines up enough. Right at ADP, stacked up, and I'm actually now need to start blasting wide receivers. We have 4 more picks. We sit at a 2.752. You know, 2 or 3 of these are going to be wide receiver, and then it's probably a flyer quarterback 3 or a flyer quarterback or a flyer tight end 3. All right, thank you to everybody drumming up likes in the chat here. 200 people watching now, 221, only 54 likes. Unacceptable. Also, I would love if you guys are excited to follow along to the So You Think You Can Tout competition. The majority of that content in the vlogs, the actual show itself, all of that stuff is going to be on the Deposit Kingdom YouTube channel. You guys remember this song and dance from previous years. Basically, this channel is for all of the live streams that I do. The Deposit Kingdom is where any of my recorded videos with the editor, the polish, all that good stuff go. So make sure you guys are subscribed to that channel. I did just drop it in the chat. That's where all of the So You Think You Can Tout content is going to be housed. So make sure you guys are subscribed over there. And I need some more coffee here as we enter the home stretch. How are you guys ranking these rookie wide receivers at the end of the draft? The Surratt, Brazel, Jeremy Bernard, Bell, Lance. How do you guys order them? Whoa, Greg coming in hot. I got a carrot cake latte this morning. Holy cow. Uh-oh. No, no, no. What did I just time out? God damn it. I was doing good. I was doing good. And then someone started talking about carrot cake lattes and I auto draft Tank fucking Bigsby. Unreal. Unreal. Yeah, anytime you can add fucking Tank Bigsby as your or your running back 8. I blame the carrot cake latte guy. Now I'm just pissed. No, you don't need those calories in the morning, bro. Cut out the liquid calories. Now I'm pissed. Fuck carrot cake lattes. You should be, Greg. I need you to put the same bucket that's on the sheep in your avatar's head. I need you to put that bucket on your head for the rest of the show. What are my positional limits here? Nope. I had it right at 8 running backs. 8 running backs. Should we change that one down? There you go. 7. 7 running backs. God damn it. Look at this. Now we got Tank Bigsby. All right. Let's actually draft a wide receiver now. You know what? I'm gonna start queuing up here. We're gonna take Surratt. Mister, is UD down? UD is down for me. Anyone else? It is not down for me, sir, because I just successfully drafted Tank Bigsby. Chat liked Brazel. Yeah, he went though, didn't he? Or am I wrong? Yeah, he went. And this is why I don't put guys in my queue, because then Zachary Branch goes right away. There goes Williams. Christopher, Pete is the king of turning bad drafting into great YouTube shorts. You know what? If I'm going to torch a $10 entry fee on Tank Bigsby, you know, I better at least 1,400 views out of it via YouTube. Got to salvage it somehow. Thank you, Sweet Leaf. What's our history, Sweet Leaf? I feel like we had a back and forth on a show, and I can't remember it now. But Sweet Leaf says approximately 1,000 big board rooms to fill. Get your slows and Pete. Absolutely not. I will not be entering any slow drafts. All right, let me reset here for the audio listeners. We have 2 more picks left. We have a 2-8-6-2 build. Jaden Daniels and Jaxson Dart, DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins, Blake Corum, Jadarian Price, Chris Rodriguez, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, James Conner, Tank Bigsby at running back. Wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Tedaroy McMillan, Denzel Boston, Darnell Mooney, Elijah Surratt, and then tight ends Colson Loveland and Isaiah Likely. Don't worry, Greg. You don't need to send me anything. Just send me the recipe to that carrot cake latte. Is Eliminator coming back this year? I have 0 inside information, but I would probably bet every single thing, every penny to my name, every possession that I own, that the Eliminator is coming back this year. Mic issue again? Jeez, what's going on today, StreamYard? You're killing me. All right. I do like Pat Bryant. Solver's been suggesting me Pat Bryant for ages now. Obviously, they bring in Waddle. A little bit of the excitement comes out there, but I liked what I saw from Pat Bryant at the end of the season there. That first quarter versus the Bills in the divisional round weekend before he got hurt, and he had like 6 targets on the first drive. That's what I'm going to hang my hat on. And then we'll probably grab one more rookie wide receiver to cap this off. I don't think there's anything quarterback or tight end to mess with, right? All right, people still talking about. Test, 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 test. I just did the classic unplug and move. What could go wrong? Who do you want to take? Bell still available? No. Bryce Lance. I think was it I'm taking Lance here. Yeah, the supermodel really likes Lance. He's wide receiver 11 in the supermodel. So it goes after the big. So you have the big three: Tate, Lemon, Tyson. Then you have this next three. I'm just kind of grouping them by ADP. Cooper, Concepcion, Boston, and then the guys who are basically free late. The supermodel goes Surratt at 7, Brazel at 8, Jeremy Bernard 9, Chris Bell 10, Bryce Lance 11. Has Bryce Lance ahead of Branch, and obviously the draft capital there is projected to be differently. You can see here it's this DP column. I can't put that on a T for Tyler and say DP column, but that means draft position. So you can see here, these other guys are projecting to be round 2 picks, 50 for Brazel, 55 Jeremy. So there's a big difference there. But basically, his production is so strong that he is still holding on to a 73 score here. So we'll give a stab to Bryce Lance as our last guy here, North Dakota State. So here's the team. We asked, is it possible to pull off 0 RB? I don't know. I certainly think it's feasible. I think there are better versions of this team I just drafted out there. I think you would have to commit, not necessarily commit to doing it, but with decent volume, you find yourself in the right pockets of the draft board, the right room to really draft a solid 0 RB team. I'm more confident that it is possible to do after this exercise than I was going into it. I would give this like a B as far as how well. There was some stuff that went wrong, I think. But here it is, a 2.882. A 2.882. James Daniels and Jaxson Dart at quarterback. A CBS list of running backs: DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins, Blake Corum, Jadarian Price, Chris Rodriguez, Bill, James Conner, Tank Bigsby. 8 wide receivers: CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Tedaroya McMillan, Denzel Boston, Darnell Mooney, Elijah Surratt, Pat Bryant, Bryce Lance, and 2 tight ends, Colston Loveland and Isaiah Likely. I do think it's the drafting super early and going elite onesies can be hard. Just you are so vulnerable to injuries or any missed time when you only have 2 players in a 20 round draft. That's the other part of this, that it's like, it's nice to free up those draft slots to be able to throw 8 darts at running back. But yeah, I mean, Jaden Daniels, Jaxson Dart, what are the odds that both those two stay healthy for an entire year? Loveland Likely, it's less of an issue, I think, just because the tight end position scores so few points on the whole. I guess from a comfiness perspective, just having like a Bryce Young on this squad feels a little bit better, but not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, and I mean, it kind of worked out. Like sometimes you force it and you're really passing on some really strong values. I don't think there was ever a point in this draft where I was like, oh, I can't take a running back. Barkley and Brown went right before I picked in the second round. Jonathan Taylor and CMC were off the board before I picked in the first. In the third, I guess I could have, otherwise I probably would have taken like a Jacobs, ETN, or no, sorry, those guys, I'm not even following the board correctly. It would have been Kyron or Javonte or Bucky. So even there, wide receiver feels good. I guess in the fourth, I don't mind Bucky there. I probably take Bucky instead of Loveland. In the fifth, Henderson's off the board, Tootin's off the board. I guess Monty would have made sense there in the mid-fifth. We were talking about him with Jacob on last week's show. So there were some spots where I think you could have definitely gone in the direction of the running back. But for the most part, this draft slot actually worked pretty well for it. All right, let's do another. This time, I just get to pick whoever I want. And I got the 103. The 103, so I should be looking at my preferred choice of running back. For those of you who have the solver or haven't seen it, to sync your exposures, like if I want to get these most recent exposures in here, you just head over to the exposure tab and you hit this sync button, and now it will sync it. And so if I refresh here, I can quickly get my updated exposures up on the screen, and we can double check it and see neighbors. Do I have my first neighbor share? There he is. $10, 6.3% Malik Neighbors. And it looks like of the round one players, I do not have a share of Puka Nacua yet, and I do not have a share of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Also Genty. I guess I'm anti-biting people with my Puka Nacua exposure. I'm really voting with my wallet. Don't go out there biting people, young man. We can take Jamar Chase. Wow, Steven. You know what? I actually did reach out to a guest who couldn't come on down, but generally I'm more sporadic with guests pre-NFL draft, and then once Best Ball Mania hits, we will have the usual mega show. It's going to be heavy hitter guests coming by for drafts. Generally have a rotating guest as well. And I'm even contemplating the idea of adding Best Ball Bash to Best Ball Breakfast on Mondays, just like one mega stream, partly because I'm starting to get so obsessed with planning and organizing and creating content for So You Think You Can Tout that I'm trying to find pockets in my schedule where I can free up more time. And I might just make Monday the mega best ball streaming day and free up some time to work on the show. But I haven't made any concrete decisions about that. But the TLDR is that come Monday after the NFL draft, which is what? It's like April 28th or something, 26th, 27th, whatever. Mondays are going to be loaded here on Best Ball Breakfast. How many of these big boards have you done? Not that many. I have exclusively drafted on stream. So any draft I've done has been on stream. I've done 12 big boards and 3 bigger boards. So you can take my exposures with a grain of salt. And I would appreciate you do so, considering some of my exposures include a lot of Michael Penix. Have I gotten the Michael Penix exposure down? I have. For a while, Michael Penix was my most drafted quarterback, but it looks like I've corrected that. Does Solver include active slow draft picks and exposures or just completed drafts? Yeah, I believe it's just completed drafts. I think that's one of even like the underdog, because it's pulling from the underdog exposures, and the underdog exposures. Actually, I could be wrong on that. Can someone tell me actually here? Let me see. Let's grab London. I actually don't want to speak out of school if I'm wrong on that, but traditionally active slow draft picks do not show up in your exposures. Yeah, only completed drafts. Rick, how many contestants do you think will be on So You Think You Can Tout? Yeah, it's a good question. Right now, I'm at 33 applicants, although not all of them are full applications, as Lou alluded to. Some people didn't even submit a video or whatever. It will be entirely determined by the quality of the applicants. Obviously, like say I go through it, and I'm like, man, there's 20 really good applicants, which is very possible. There's a lot of people who I think are going to apply that haven't yet applied. The very first few weeks of the show will probably feature a quick cut down. Like we would probably have to go from like 20 to 10 fairly quickly, because then I want to have that core group available for challenges throughout the summer. I'm going to grab Josh Jacobs here. I'm done. Done 0R being. We'll grab Josh Jacobs right at ADP. But the answer, Rick, is I don't know. I don't know yet. And I'm going to see how many quality applicants we have. And in my head, I think it'll probably be something like we have an initial invite. That's kind of a bigger invite of people who made it past step one. But then there will be a challenge or something that's going to narrow it down to a more manageable number. And then I want that core to be part of the main part of the show throughout the summer. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I do recommend watching. If you haven't submitted yet, I recommend watching some of the submission videos. Some of them are really good. Some of them are very funny. Some of them meet the instructions. Some of them don't. But yeah, I think you can learn a lot. And I mean, the other piece of advice I will just say is like, I want to see your guys' personality. I want to be entertained. Ultimately, that is what this is all about. And I've gotten some questions. I do not care if you have a great streaming setup. One of the best submissions so far was shot on somebody's phone while running around a track. You do not have to worry. People have done editing. That's cool. It's not a requirement whatsoever. I am literally hunting for talent and for potential. So don't let editing or anything, hold you up in that regard. The only thing that people who already make content have as an advantage is just the confidence to do it and the reps to have done it before. That's the only advantage they have. But I'm hoping to get a wide variety of people, those who are already making content, and also people who have never made anything before and just needed this as the nudge to get started. I think I should do the rest of the draft with Tank Bigsby in your queue. I don't mind a good challenge. It seems like a good way to try to keep me sharp. Challenge accepted. Can we watch the submissions? So basically, I would say the majority of the submissions have been public. I want to say like 20 of the 30 or so have been public. I am doing my best to retweet or share any of them that I get tagged in. So I would go to my Twitter profile and you can find a bunch of them. If you have submitted publicly and tagged me and I didn't share your video, it's not because I didn't think it was good or anything. It was just because I missed it. I've been trying to share all of them. So feel free to retag me or let me know. But that's the best spot to watch them all. Once we kind of settle on who are going to be the core contestants, I'm going to upload those all in a spot that is very easy to watch. And they'll obviously be included in the videos and stuff as well when I'm going through and picking who makes the final cut. All right, we're about to pick in the fourth round. We have Josh Jacobs, Jamar Chase, and Drake London. We'll see what K Wake does here. They go Waddle. Let's keep ripping in Colston Loveland. Let's keep doing Colston Loveland here. Jacobs, Jamar Chase, Drake London, Colston Loveland. We reached for him a little bit in the last draft, and we're going to take him right at ADP here. Yeah. So the very first person to put a form submission in said, "Hey, I'm on vacation. If you need a video from me, feel free to email me." That's the first. He had to run to submit. I was like, "Bro, you can come back from vacation. You do have time." I'm not making any final decisions until April 23rd when the submission's in. The only benefit you get of putting it out there early is people are already campaigning for you. Like people are already asking, I want PPR Tyler in the competition. Like that's obviously working in his favor. I'm going to try something here. I'm going to pull up David Montgomery. When Sanderson was really selling on him when we were talking last week, and I do think he's a very solid pick in this range at 5-3. So we got Jacobs, Montgomery, Chase, London, Loveland. If Kitchen was dedicated to the grind, he would apply. Been in the industry for a while. It just seems to need that push to become a tout. I need to check on his W-2 status with JJ and see if he actually is a full-time fantasy employee or not. He could potentially be eligible. PPR Tyler, do we get confirmation if the Whole Foods gift card is in the prize pool? I think I should have one of the challenges being you having to go grocery shopping, max, min 10 vegetables and 10 fruits. I'm getting asked financial advice from Ben R. Hey, Pete, I came in second in the pit bowl last year. Haven't withdrew yet. Should I put my funds in a reliable mutual fund or max the big dog? This is a very clever way to brag about having won the pit bowl last year. But I have been on record ever since my dear friend, Patrick Corain, won Best Ball Mania, and he immediately extracted his funds from the ecosystem. I tell all winners that they need to leave their funds on Underdog and donate some back to the community. So I'm going to give you that same advice I've given all the other winners. Jamar Chase, Drake London, Josh Jacobs, Colston Loveland, David Montgomery. That is the squad. We are drafting a big board draft here on April 6th. Look at the calendar here. So the NFL draft is 2.5 weeks away. So we'll have a best ball breakfast on the 13th. That's next week. We'll have a breast ball. God, it's a good thing Tyler had to go to work after my DP and breast ball comments. On the 20th, we'll have a best ball breakfast, and then the NFL draft. And so we'll have our first Best Ball Mania best ball breakfast 3 weeks from today. That'll be on the 27th. Crazy. All right, I cannot time out on Tank Bigsby. I was really, Jaden Daniels there would have been nice, but K Wake just could not resist taking the Jaden Daniels 6-pick ADP fall naked to pair with Lamar Jackson. I will settle for Joe Burrow, but man, I almost had the chance to do. Why did I think? For some reason, I thought I had Terry McLaurin. I did not take Terry McLaurin. I decided to take David Montgomery instead. I think that's who I was deciding on, Terry McLaurin or David Montgomery in my head. I don't even think I ever vocalized that. And then in my head, I was like, oh, Jaden here with Terry would be nice. But no, I don't have him. So guess what? I'm no longer upset about not getting Jaden. We have stacked up Joe Burrow with Jamar Chase. No, this was Christopher's suggestion here to keep Tank Bigsby in the queue. And I like the challenge. It forces me to stay sharp. I can't get distracted by whatever's the next carrot cake latte comment. Of all of these guys here, I think I like Michael Wilson, the solver, like Sutton, Pierce, Wilson. Should I do the Pierce thing? You guys have always are ragging on me about Pierce. I'm just not a Pierce guy. I'm going to go Michael Wilson. Here. Joe Burrow, Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery, Jamar Chase, Drake London, Michael Wilson, Colston Loveland through 7. Rick says the period between the draft and June 1st is going to be interesting to see draft boards. I will say, like, for the early Best Ball Mania years, for those who weren't around, specifically like Best Ball Mania 2, 3, and even 4, there were awesome opportunities to build super teams in the first week, first 4 or 5 days, first week. And last year, I felt was the first year where everyone was so on top of it, and the people who were drafting right away, and just all of the conversation around, "Oh, you gotta draft opening night to build super teams. You get the mispriced players, the ADPs are inefficient." Things got efficient so fast last year. And again, it's not saying there weren't ADP values, it's not saying that the market got everything right, but this idea of you just being a kid in the candy shop picking off values because people don't know that Mike Washington got drafted by the Seahawks at pick 32, like, those days are over. We have just reached an era of drafting on underdog where everybody is on top of shit, and it would be almost impossible to be in a room with 11 other drafters who aren't as hungry and who have not consumed all of the same information as you have heading into that early draft. And that's not to poo-poo anyone on drafting early. I think there's still gonna be some ADPs that don't move up fast enough. We know that there's a psychological anchoring effect to those ADPs, and you can kind of play a game of chicken in these rooms where it's like, let's say Brazel goes round 1, shocks the world, goes round 1, and he still has this super late ADP. Everybody knows he should go higher, but you play a game of chicken of like, hey, let's just chill. We don't have to take him in the 9th round right now. We can actually see if we can get him in the 13th because everybody's like, sitting and waiting who can get the best price. Like those kind of games still will happen. You'll be able to get good CLV. But the days of just complete overlooking by the field of extreme values, I just think it's gone. I think it's gone. All right, we are back on the clock here. We will not draft Tank Bigsby. Ricky Pearsall's here. I like Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall at pick 94 seems solid. I also have a chance to stack him up with Brock Purdy coming back. I do not have a chance to stack him up with Brock Purdy coming back because Brock Purdy goes one pick after me to the Evans drafter, which certainly makes sense. This is also true. People will tell themselves anything to feel like they got some kind of edge. Yeah, but I guess I'm trying to give people permission. It's okay to just say, I'm excited to draft at Best Ball Mania because we have landing spots and there's however $1 million to first place, and I want to get in there and draft some teams. I think that's also perfectly okay. But yeah, if whatever lies we need to tell ourselves. I don't like this spot. I think I'm just going to take Bo Nix. I have not taken Bo Nix yet. I like Bo Nix. I don't think there's anything wrong with his ADP here, pick 99. I know he ran a lot more his rookie year, but I think getting Waddle is pretty bullish. I think Sean Payton, for all of his flaws as a communicator or at the podium, does a good job setting these guys up for success, specifically the quarterback. So let's take naked Bo Nix and see what happens. I would have liked Brock Purdy there. Anything to prevent me from taking Michael Penix as a fake stack with Drake London. That's kind of where I'm at right now. What are the odds Christian Kirk outscores Ricky this year? I don't know. It's probably like plus 500, plus 400 maybe. Tough to go Purdy first, but probably worth it. Yeah, Dane says thanks for sniping me on Pearsall. I mean, Pearsall had slid past ADP, so I don't. If I'm going to nitpick the language, you can't get sniped on an ADP faller. Like sniped, I think is if someone takes them ahead of ADP. But I took him at 94. His ADP is 87. Like once you're an ADP faller, there's no sniping. All is fair. I agree with this basic ratio from Crutches. If you were just complete GTO maxing, 25 opening day, 125 closing day, the barbell strategy. But the point stands that being way more heavily backloaded is certainly, I think, optimal. Oh, yeah, no, the double stack would have been nice. But, yeah, I think if I go Purdy first, there's no way Pearsall's coming back around and falling 2 rounds past ADP. Oh, god. Were you catching up on replay, Tyler, or did one of your horny moles tip you off that I was talking about DP and breast ball? We're about to enter in round 10, or I'm about to pick in round 10. We have 2-2-4-1. We got Burrow and Nix. We got Jacobs and Monty as our only running backs. This is one of those spots where, okay, thank you for taking Worthy because I really wanted to take Worthy, but I also feel like I should get another running back. Hmm. I do kind of like Kenny Gainwell. Oh my god, I almost I almost got to take Bigsby because I put Gainwell in my queue, but I forgot to flip him in Bigsby. Woo, that was close. We grabbed Kenny Gainwell as our RB3 at 118. Joe Burrow, Bo Nix at quarterback, Jacobs, Montgomery, Gainwell at running back, Jamar Chase, Drake London, Michael Wilson, Ricky Pearsall at wide receiver, Colson Loveland at tight end. Man, this is kind of like a 6 spot in the draft. Do I push? You know what I could do? Why don't we take Jalen Coker? That's the top recommendation. He falls a little bit past ADP and see if we could potentially get Bryce with him. I could have also done the same thought with Higgins. Stroud's probably not coming back at this point. The Nico drafter. No, the Nico drafter was behind me, so maybe. Maybe this is another spot where you should just take the quarterback first. Uham's thoughts on Worthy Rice if KC lands a wide receiver early. In my opinion, it tanks Worthy. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I think it would also depend on the archetype of the wide receiver, right? Um, we do have a lot of these like big-bodied outside wide receivers that I think would be kind of an issue for Worthy if we're excited about his downfield role. If they brought in more of a possession guy that overlapped more with Rice, but yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be good. If you put, I mean, Kelsey's not going away. Rashi's going to command the most targets. If Worthy is competing with a really talented rookie for third in the pecking order for targets, yeah, it doesn't seem good. But I still don't mind this price. What if Bigsby is the guy you need? Well, guess what? If he is, that 0 RB team I drafted is looking good. I feel like it's been pretty quiet for NFL news for the past couple weeks. It felt like we had that flurry of kind of post free agency stuff. We had the Waddle trade, we had the Field stuff. I guess we had the Jalen Hurts report, and now we just have all of this lingering AJ Brown stuff that it seems like is going to eventually happen after June 1st. But it has been a little quiet. Maybe we just got spoiled with nonstop action there for about a month. But I mean, I guess I'll tune into ADP chasing tomorrow night, but I feel like there haven't been a lot of catalysts for movement lately. Yeah, I guess Rashi news was big. You're right. You're right. The Puka stuff, I mean, is anything going to happen for Puka? I mean, it hasn't affected his ADP at all. Rashi's the riser. I feel like in the 3 drafts I've done since the news, 1 on Saturday and 2 this morning, he's gone earlier and earlier each draft. He goes pick 23 here. We'll see what K Wake does. I am just going to lock up this third QB. I'm going to get Bryce Young. I did the Coker thing. Solver suggesting non-quarterback options, but I got to IKB this. I got to get my comfy QB3. Got to put that blanket on. That QB3 exposure blanket that just feels so warm and cozy. Joe Burrow, Bo Nix, Bryce Young, the quarterback room. Rashi's going to open up BBM at the 1-2 turn. I could see it. I still think he'll be like mid. I think some of these running backs will hold the wall just because people love getting those running backs there. Let's grab someone on the Philadelphia Eagles. Tank Bigsby, just kidding. Let's do Dallas Goedert. We grab him 10 picks past ADP. I mean, if AJ Brown, Goddard's a great pick at this price, even if AJB is in the fold again. I think without AJB there, Goddard at 147 is still pretty nice. Yeah, we was it last week or whatever? I do think it. What would you guys say? At this point, doesn't the AJ Brown trade feel, I don't know, 70, 80% chance of happening? I kind of like the idea of just drafting with the mentality that he's gone and pushing up Devontae Smith, pushing up Goddard. And it really and I guess it's not even pushing up. Like it's the opposite in these drafts. Devontae Smith hasn't seemed to budge. Goddard just fell 10 picks past ADP. It's just this weird dynamic where it feels like everyone is in agreement that this is going to happen, but then it's not actually being reflected in drafts. I guess that's the dynamic we always talk about, how you always think something is baked in on underdog, and then it always gets double counted. Here's the squad for the audio listeners. As always, I will post the video and the audio from Best Ball Breakfast on the In a Vacuum podcast feed. The video actually gets posted on Spotify as well. So if you guys are wanting to do the combination of podcast / video, you can find it over here on Spotify. I'll drop that link in the chat if you guys want to subscribe over there. Even if you don't normally consume on Spotify, it helps me out if you guys are subscribed over there. All right, well, I was going to do a quick recap of the team. Burrow, Bo Nix, Bryce Young, Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery, Kenneth Gainwell, Jamar Chase, Drake London, Michael Wilson, Ricky Pearsall, Jalen Coker, tight end Colston Loveland, Dallas Goedert. I feel like I've played a little fast and loose at running back, maybe got a little too comfy with just Jacobs and Montgomery. Normally having only 3 through this many rounds, I would feel better having maybe a couple, like around 1 and 2 running back with this build. So you should probably wake up. I was catching up on some pods. I was listening to Pat and JJ talk about Emmett Johnson, and they were getting me a little excited about him and just kind of his receiving profile. Everything seems to be on a curve this year when you listen to draft analysts talk about this class, specifically the running back, where it's like, in a normal class, they'd be my RB 26. But in this class, he's got some interesting traits. But I like the stuff they were saying about Emmett Johnson, his receiving ability. Nebraska's zone maestro, whose vision, finishing mentality, and breakout receiving flash has made him conference running back of the year. This is the part of the draft I hate. Jeez. Selecting Emmanuel Wilson. I don't got anything here. Needed another running back. Didn't want to auto draft Bigsby. Don't like Pacheco. I think I'm out of the Tajay Spears business until I see that the Titans pass on Love. I guess Wilson's fine. I mean, there were the quotes from McDonald where he says, "I think people are sleeping on our current running back room." They sign Wilson in free agency. It's Sharps who's coming off the injury. It's Holani and Wilson. Can someone sell me on Wilson being an okay pick? Because I just feel depressed. 3-5-5-2. This really is, I think, the sickest round, like where drafting through 14 rounds, you're kind of vibing, you're kind of having fun. There's some names you like. And then you get to round 15 and you're like, I'd rather just push the plane and do something else. Well, thank you for this. Zane says he was a better pick than Tank. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Why no Pacheco love? I'm in 5 slot and was hoping he made it back first draft of the year and doing this blind. I just thought Pacheco was completely cooked last year. The Chiefs had a wide open depth chart, so much opportunity for running back touches, and he could barely, earn any kind of significant work in that situation when they were desperate for running backs. You go behind Gibbs. It's a purely contingent upside thing. Like I just have a hard time envisioning him having much of a standalone role, and I feel like if he is cooked, that it's going to devolve into like a 3-way timeshare if Gibbs is out. But I don't know if that's I'm guessing that's a consensus opinion based on where he goes. Let's see here. Running back, wide receiver. Let's do Chris. I didn't get Brazel last time. Let's grab Brazel here. Yeah, this is another good point. Detroit almost for sure adding a running back. I mean, you're playing with fire with any of these running backs. Basically, at any point after the first 2 rounds, right? Like so many teams are likely to add a running back. What you have working in your favor with the incumbents is this, that it's not that great of a running back class. But Pacheco, there's some running backs who can withstand like a 5th round running back being selected in this draft class. Pacheco, I don't think is someone who's going to be able to hold that off. I feel pretty confident that most of the running backs that the Lions would select in the 4th or 5th round would immediately be more dynamic than. All right, I'm going to keep blasting rookie wide receivers because if I don't, you guys take them all. So we're going to take Jeremy Bernard here as well. Joe Burrow, Bo Nix, Bryce Young at quarterback, Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery, Kenneth Gainwell, Emmett Johnson, Emmanuel Wilson at running back, Jamar Chase, Drake London, Michael Wilson, Ricky Pearsall, Jalen Coker, Chris Brazel, Jeremy Bernard at wide receiver, Loveland, and Goddard at tight end. Dane didn't want me to take Tesla. You're safe. I think Tesla is one of those guys that I probably just wouldn't take unless I had Goff. I don't know. Where does Fantasy Life have Deshaun Stribling? Is this a bit? Am I getting set up for what position is this guy? Wide receiver. All right, let's go look at the supermodel here. Rookie supermodel score of 67. So that's not awful. Let's see what number that is overall. They have him 18th. So Ted Hurst. So after you have Malachi Fields 15, Hurst 16, Jacoby Lane 17, then Stribling 18. Okay, nice. Hayden just did a video on him. There you go. For more Stribling content. All right, we have a 3-5-7-2. I mean, I'm done at quarterback. The tight ends up. You know what? We could tack on Gesicki for a double stack with Burrow. I don't mind doing that, especially on teams where you don't have one of T. Higgins or Chase, and you play those scenarios where one of those guys is out. We've really seen the Gesicki target share spike, but I can probably sit on that. Are there any other interesting running backs available here? You know what? I haven't selected Ray Davis yet. I don't mind Ray Davis as an RB2 there behind Cook. Certainly, I think can have a little bit of standalone value. Has shown his moments. Has that 3-down skill set too, which I think hints at a little more upside if Cook got hurt. I don't think it's as clean as some of the other RB2 situations, but if I'm spraying and praying back here, doesn't seem bad. So I do have the naked. We could do the Pat Bryant thing again. I do like him. It probably makes sense on this team. So we're recommending it. Thank you to whoever selected Tank Bigsby, by the way, and got him out of my queue. We'll get one little stack with Bo Nix on the cheap. So we have a 3-6-8-2 with one pick left. What do you guys think this pick should be? It could be Gesicki. It could be another rookie wide receiver. It could be a running back Dart. Aaron, I've been following along with you since last playoffs. Finally gotten a draft with you. Can you roast my team at 108? There you are. CeeDee Lamb, Jeremiah Love, ETN, Devontae, Cam Scatterbo, Hurts with Devontae, Prescott with Love, Kraft, Reed, Denzel Boston, Ferguson stacked up, Cooper Jr., Shaheed, Connor, Barner, Tyreek Hill, Flournoy, Branch. Looks good to me. I mean, Scatterbo, I mean, your running back room, I guess it's fine. You need Love balling off the rip. You got the two Hurts, Prescott as your two QBs. I think it looks pretty solid to me, man. But I'm not a good judge. I'm the one getting judged right now as well. But that seems fine to me. Yeah, this is true. 3 quarterbacks with undrafted tight ends, right? It doesn't have to be Gesicki. Yeah, the solver recommending Gesicki, Ingram, and then what? Jatavian Sanders, honestly. I mean, if I channel my inner badge bro and scroll the F down and think about the draft percentages, I mean, Gesicki probably going in way more drafts than Jatavian Sanders. All right, I'm going to do another coffee pour. What do you guys want to draft next? I will. I did this on After Dark. I let the chat decide. I'll let you decide between between 2 of these that are going to fill. Should we sack up and do a bigger board? I only have 2 left. Maybe I'm not going to let you guys decide. Maybe I'm going to force you into a bigger board. Let's sit in the bigger board. Yeah. All right, 10 people. Who wants the bigger board here? I was thinking about War Room 2 here, Smooth Criminal, but that's going to be open for a little bit longer. The other ones are going to be filled by what? The next 2 days probably. So we got to prioritize the contests that are going to fill, and I would like to max the bigger board. This is, I think, my 4th. 3 more if you guys want one on the bigger board. I hate Evan Ingram. Like, we were playing some of those 2-game slates, or 2-game slates, like the conference championship round, and like Evan Ingram, I didn't even want to draft him then. I'm gonna take Jatavian Sanders. Here's the final squad as we wait for 2 more people for this bigger board. Joe Burrow, Bo Nix, and Bryce Young at quarterback. Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery, Kenneth Gainwell, Emmett Johnson, Emmanuel Wilson, Ray Davis at running back. Jamar Chase, Drake London, Michael Wilson, Ricky Pearsall, Jalen Coker, Chris Brazzell, Jeremy Bernard, Pat Bryant, Colston Loveland, Dallas Goedert, Jatavian Sanderson. Jatavian Sanderson, Jesus. Got my comfy 3 quarterback, 3 tight end build. Decent job with the stacking. Got some of my preferred wide receiver targets cheap with Brazzell and Bernard. I think I would ideally, my running back 3 is a little stronger than Kenny Gainwell, but if Jacobs and Montgomery stay healthy and do their thing, that this team can probably be fine. The running back room seems like the issue. Quarterbacks are solid, tight end room solid, wide receivers are solid. It's really this kind of like Gainwell, Emmett Johnson, Emmanuel Wilson I could be really hurting for wide receiver points. All right, bigger board is filled. This is the $100 draft. The stars are out tonight. Shady advice. Razor 33. Poor Ray Zanny really wants to be on So You Think You Can Tout. Submitted an application, but was too scared to submit a video. You hate to see it. We got Dane here. We got Charlie. Matty G, my guy Matty G. We're picking from the 110. Whoa, look at this. We have an offer from Dane. Get this stream to 150 likes and I will donate 5 subs. What are we at right now? Let me refresh on my other browser. We are at 104. 104. Hit that like button. Let's see here. I will match Dane's offer. I will match Dane's offer. I will send 5 subs as well if we get up to 150 likes. What's the advance rate on this one? Yeah, it's the 4 of 12 instead of the 3 of 12. So 4 of 12 in the regular season. The round 15 pod is 2 of 8. So essentially 25% there, 1 of 4. The toughest week in this tournament is week 16. It's 1 of 8. And then if you advance from that, you're in a 23-person final. Man, I just realized how close we are to the schedule as well. What are we like? I guess we're like 5 weeks away from getting the NFL schedule. It's normally 2nd to 3rd week of May, 2nd week of May. All right. Let's do I think, what did I say? It was Amon-Ra and Puka and Genti were the three players I didn't have any shares of yet across my pre-NFL draft portfolio. I also know I'm going to be able to get a running back coming back here. So we'll grab Amon-Ra at 10. Can't wait to get in the lab with the mnemonic devices. Figure out what's going to be this year's bow and arrowhead. Sportshead is anxious to do the best ball bash. Yep, if you're a YouTube member at any level, you are eligible for the chat, which means you're eligible to enter. I mean, I kind of sprung it on people last week. I think the odds were really good. There were only like 8 names that put in, and I did a $100 draft. It's a pretty good value there. How about this? I take Barkley so I don't have to take Tank Bigsby, right? Can I take Tank Bigsby off my board if I draft Barkley? Dyson Darts, that was one of the best ones last year. Yeah, we did. I'll probably, I think I'll do a bash this week for sure, assuming there are contests still available to draft. I assume there will be. And then, yeah, I mentioned it earlier, but I'm kind of toying around with the idea of like maybe adding the bash to the end of Best Ball Breakfast. But we'll see. Regardless, the bash will roll on this summer, and we'll get you guys up on stream to draft teams with me. Now I have to put Yoshi Boss in the queue. I'm going to hope that this being a $100 draft, I'm just naturally locked in. I took my creatine this morning. No excuses. Some people out here drinking carrot cake lattes. I'm out here getting my 10 milligrams of creatine. Any interesting starts here? So Neighbors falls back to Dane at 22. London falls to 24. So people definitely going a little bit more running back heavy here than in the other big boards. We're at 140 likes. So we are 10 likes away from unlocking 10 YouTube memberships. 10 from Dane, or 5 from Dane, 5 from me. JBB says now for the creatine pour. This is a triggering comment to me because April always wants to be a part. Like if I'm making something or mixing something, she wants to help, and I love having her help me with stuff. But the creatine is one in particular that I'm terrified anytime I let her help me with it, because it's like a 50% hit rate on a huge mess. Just very powdery and flaky and gets everywhere. And I'm just like, I basically like get the scoop for her, get her hand already like halfway down the cup. And then I'm like, just shake it in there, because I am not trusting her to go straight from the container into the cup without major slippage. All right, we are on the clock. Breece Hall goes. Come on, Maddie. I guess I will take Bucky. I mean, we're again in this range where all of these wide receivers are fairly flat. You can sometimes get Bucky in the 4th, it seems like, in the regular big boards, but I'm guessing in this one he doesn't come back. Chunk the Deuce says, since you last roasted me about my Pop-Tart consumption, I've upgraded to $12 Smoothie King recovery smoothies. So thanks for that. Sounds like I cost you a ton of money there. I'm sorry. All right. So my favorites went Zay Flowers, Devontae Smith. We will, man, my other $100 draft, I did Garrett Wilson as well. I definitely prefer him to Igbuka and Ladd. Yeah, I guess we'll do Garrett Wilson. I was hoping for, man, one of these. What a rip there. Ted Arroyo, Zay, Devontae Smith, T. Higgins. So we start Amon-Ra, Barkley, Bucky, Garrett Wilson. We know testosterone increases the odds of drafting robust RB, says Zach. Are there any effects of pre-draft creatine? You guys tell me. I mean, today it was, I immediately, this is interesting, Zach. You say testosterone increases the odds of drafting robust RB. I took creatine and immediately was agreeable to a 0 RB draft. Just the second I read it, I said, that's a great idea. So maybe creatine is kind of inflaming your beta tendencies. Because I was way too quick to agree to a 0 RB draft post creatine. Kiss My Third Leg says it's insane. Devontae Adams leads the league in red zone targets. Teammate going crazy in rehab. Stafford coming back, yet Adams somehow around 4 or 5 pick. Yeah, I think to me the case against Devontae is he was extremely touchdown reliant last year. We know that can not be quite as sticky year over year, even though he's so good at it. I think there's a little concern that there was this Matthew Stafford MVP push. They were using him like a goal line running back. What if some of that goes away? I don't actually think anything's going to happen to Puka. They are also heavily rumored to be in the mix for a round 1 wide receiver. Like, you can go look at the mock drafts. Friedman had them taking Jordan Tyson there. That could add another body to the mix. So, and then you factor in the age. He is another year older. I do think he's one of those players like Mike Evans who can age gracefully. So I don't think he's a bad pick, but I certainly understand why he's a 4 or 5 turn. Like that part isn't shocking to me. That said, am I going to end up taking Devontae Adams here in the 5th round? We start Barkley, Bucky Irving, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Garrett Wilson. It is best ball breakfast. I'm jacked up on caffeine and creatine. We are drafting a $100 bigger board team. Matty G starts out 3 running backs. Hampton, Breece Hall grabs Terry McLaurin. We're back on the clock. I somehow always get stuck with Lamar on my running back really got wiped. I do Watson here a lot. I'm fine taking Lamar again. Lamar at 58 seems fine. His ADP is 51. You get a string of running backs here in the 5th round. Montgomery goes at 5-1. Then you get Tootin, Harvey, Judkins, Swift all off the board there. And now the back half of the board says, you know what? I'll scoop up some of these wide receivers. There goes Watson, Tate, Lemon. Wow. This is a commenter I don't think I've ever seen before. Hang on. Oh, shit. Okay. Cam Scadaboo's fine. Cam Scadaboo's fine. I'm not counting that as an auto draft. But holy shit, that was close. I honestly think I would have taken Scadabo there. I mean, the injury stuff isn't ideal, but he does slide to pick 63. I don't want Thomas. I don't want Harrison, Warren, whatever, Pierce, no quarterbacks to stack. Okay. I'm okay at that. But I do need to read this comment. Petition to ban the contact of cup and coffee pot during the coffee pours. My autism can't deal. A 10 of 10 pour is an all liquid transfer. Thank you in advance, brother, for your efforts in fixing this. This is a lot for me to unpack. My first instinct is to be defensive. Like, who are you to tell me how to do my coffee pours? However, I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to try to meet you where you're at. And I'm going to actually tell you a few things and hope you can meet me where I'm at as well. The thing is, I didn't even know that I was dinging the coffee pot to it. If I was, hopefully I didn't trigger anything there. It's completely accidental. I'm not intentionally trying to cheers the coffee mug in the coffee pot. So let me just set that straight. completely accidental that occurs. I will say, though, if you put yourself in my shoes, I am trying to position the coffee pour near the mic in a way that people can see the pour and hear the pour. In a lot of ways, I'm like the great modern Foley artist with what I'm tasked to do here with the coffee pour, which has become a big part of the show. It's essentially the second host on this show. So I just want you to maybe show me a little bit of grace that sometimes in the positioning of the shot, getting it in frame, that these two might just gently kiss. Now, I understand that that's tough and you have some of your own issues to work through with that, but I just want you to know I'm not doing it to trigger you, and I will, going forward, Mr. Perfectly Cromulent, try to avoid that. But there's weird ticks with the coffee stuff that I've known about for a long time that I still have a hard time kicking. I know that after I take a sip, I have a tendency to do like a licking of my lips. I hate it, but I do it without even thinking about it. It is a completely involuntary reaction. But I'm glad we could talk this out. Cheers. Okay. Zane says, generally a clink reduces score, but a perfect clink equals an 11 out of 10. All right. Glad we could have that conversation. All right. What do we want to do here? I think we're in the business for a wide receiver. Man, the ETR ranks really like Sutton still. I just can't get there. I'm a big Jordan Addison guy, and I haven't been able to draft him in a while. Let's draft Jordan Addison here as our 7th round selection. Hey, Perfectly Cromulent, he says, that's completely fair, brother. Me personally, I don't mind. It's really just my autism. Nothing but love and respect for you. Hey, I am here for constructive feedback, and I feel like the way you presented it to me was very constructive, and you were revealing something I didn't even know I was doing. And I appreciate you for that. I appreciate we could have this dialogue. We could reach across the aisle. Ricky Pearsall again, Godwin. We could go running back maxing here. I haven't taken Rico. Emo was in the chat, pounding the table for Rico earlier. I do think he's going to have a pretty good workload there. Let's go a little running back heavy here. Lamar at quarterback, Barkley, Bucky, Cam Scatabo, Rico. Maybe Rico can buy us some time if Cam's a little slow start. Amon Ra, Garrett Wilson, Jordan Addison at wide receiver. Charlie gets his first Drake May and A.J. Brown stack. There you go. Look at nickel flicks here. 3 quarterbacks. Naked Caleb, Dak with Lamb, Stafford with Kyron and Adams. Okay. Those are the spots where I'm always like, you grab Caleb and you're worried about the quarterback run, and then you get 2 stacked pieces after that, and you're kind of like, I wish I use that Caleb pick on something else. What are the things on your guys's to-do list in drafts, in these big board drafts before the NFL draft starts? Like what are the exposures you're trying to boost up? What are the things you're trying to do before we get the answers to the NFL draft test? Like, are you guys going into drafts being like, I want to boost my Rashee Rice exposure? Or are you just all zenned out letting the drafts come to you? David says that's David is nickel flicks. He says I have him pegged with the Williams pick. There you go. See, yeah, Nick is trying to get Rashee Rice every draft. I think mine is just continuing to load up on as many of those top 8 or 9, or sorry, rookie wide receivers from this like Omar Cooper to Jeremy Bernard range. Like all of these guys, Cooper, Concepcion, Boston, Brazel, Surratt, Jeremy, all strike me as really good values relative to their projected draft capital. Yep, there you go. Get my Tate shares before he goes to the Browns. just so you could draft him without knowing where he's going. Wouldn't you want to not get Tate if you know he's going to the Browns? All right, I'm on the clock. Shit. What did I do? Godwin, that's fine. That is fine. I am running pure on auto drafts. Godwin falls to 106. I was really worried that was going to be something more devastating, but it was actually the perfect selection. I needed a wide receiver. He's 15 picks past ADP. And I already have Bucky Irving on this team. But hot damn, I would have liked to have clicked that on my own. Now I can't even take the credit for it. Jesus. We are going to take Baker here, though, right? We're going to take Baker. We have Baker, Bucky, and Godwin. Lock it up. So much for that creatine sharpening my draft skills. These are the other to-do list items from the chat. Zane is smashing rookies and remaining free agents. All right, it looks like we hit 150. Dane just gifted 5. Let me see if I can do this. Let me try this. There you go. And I just sent 5 here as well. Boom. Thank you, Dane. Creatine really getting you focused on the chat. It's true. You guys are just so distracting. It's that meme. The draft, holding hands with the draft and looking over my shoulder at you guys. The chat. Chris, do I have any info on the World Cup drafts UD announced? No info, but that is cool. I am getting excited about the World Cup. Wow. Big creatine, got my wife drinking it. I've gotten my wife to drink it, to add it into her routine a little bit as well. Yeah, Sack asking, do we not feed the ducks here anymore? We really haven't much. I ended up just getting, it seemed like what happened was the people who watched live liked the ducks, and then I would get feedback from audio listeners that they didn't like it in the mix. But we could throw on a little. Let me get a vote here. Let me put this in the thing. Ducks or no ducks? For those of you who don't know, the ducks are just a light music bed that plays in the back, and I used to always play it specifically when I got really worked up or I got sniped or I was on tilt. Maddie. Oh, Maddie goes Kelsey. Okay, I'm going to take Kittle. I know this is the bigger board and that I could be without him early, but I still like getting Kittle at these prices. Pick 130. We can try to platoon him with some other tight ends to buy us time. Wow, early votes for Ducks is a overwhelming majority. 82% as of right now. Get your votes in. All right, we're back on the clock. All right, let's get my Omar Cooper Jr. in here. Jaden Higgins seems fine, but we just talked about our to-do list. Let me get Omar Cooper Jr. before he's a first-round pick. Smooth says, are you going to Gillette for a World Cup game? It is very high on my priority list. I'm going to make it happen. I have not made concrete plans yet, but Foxborough is basically in my backyard, and I feel like I would be upset at myself if I didn't find a way to get over there. I think, is it England plays Ghana for one of the games over there that looked interesting to me as a fun one? Yeah, England versus Ghana, June 23rd, 4 p.m. I want to go to that game. Yes, Foxborough and FIFA did figure it out. I don't know who ended up paying who or whatever, if the city forked over the money, but I believe that did get fully resolved, which was the funniest thing ever. It was like the World Cup's a few months away, and in the town of Foxborough is like, you're not fucking coming. I don't even know what accent I was going to start doing there, my masshole accent, but you pay if you want to come play soccer here. Oh yeah, Frankie says F the World Cup. I was in the queue for 6.5 hours the other day. I'm just gonna scalp them, whatever. Yeah, I lost Mark Andrews. Him and Goddard went. It definitely stings. Definitely stings. Maybe I should have taken Mark Andrews instead of Omar Cooper Jr. there. Andrews or Goddard would have paired perfectly on this team, and I messed it up. Don says, first stream since my post-Super Bowl break, devastated that the Ducks are lost to time, was more of a melancholy post-DFS Sunday energy to me anyway, so I understand. Yeah, that was actually the OG Ducks was going through my dusty GPP lineups. But based on these results in the poll, 78% of you say yes to Ducks, 59 votes. So I can give some Ducks after I figure this out. So this is an interesting spot, right? Sadiq is a huge faller here. Sadiq and Kittle don't pair that well as far as what I'm looking for in a bigger board. You know, I could be taking a lot of zeros early, but let's go a 3 tight end build. Let's rip in Sadiq here. We get Kittle and Sadiq at a value, and then we'll grab one of these guys as a way to hopefully bide time until Kittle and Sadiq are smashing. All right, let me get some Ducks in here. You guys asked for it. Who am I to deprive the people of some Ducks? I actually have to put my headphones on to hear these. I'm also laughing because since I've looked at these, StreamYard has added some sound effects. Like, I do drum roll bongos before every one of my picks. I mean, what a bit that would be. Or anytime I get complete my stack. All right, Peter, get a competent tight end to help take care of this George Kittle, Kenyon Sadiq room. He selects Hunter Henry, and the crowd goes wild. All right. Got to put my headphones on. Now I'm like a DJ. I'm not even a streamer anymore. I'm up here just queuing up gongs. What else do we got in here, StreamYard? What do you guys cooking? Devs always be shipping at StreamYard. There are so many features. I've asked StreamYard support for multiple features, mainly integrations with YouTube stuff. And it's really annoying right now because you have to create a stream on StreamYard and then you have to go into YouTube settings and then add additional settings. And I just want to be able to do them in one spot. And I've complained. But at their meetings, they sit around and they're like, you know what? Let's not beef up our YouTube integration. Let's add a heartbeat fast sound effect. Yeah. That's what we need there. You know what? let's not worry about our integration with the biggest streaming platform in the world. Let's add in a bounce sound. Thank you, StreamYard. Thank you for all you do. All right, back to the Ducks. All right, Polino says Sadiq could land on the Ravens. All right, there you go. All right, here's the team so far. 2-4-5-3, bigger board, $100 draft. We're cruising along here. Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield at quarterback. We have Barkley, Bucky Irving, Cam Scatabo, Rico Dowdle at running back. Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson, Jordan Addison, Chris Godwin, Omar Cooper Jr. at wide receiver. And then we have ripped off 3 straight tight ends, I believe. Is this true? Oh, no. Omar Cooper Jr. was squeezed in there. We went Kittle, then Cooper, then Sadiq, then Henry. Pretty balanced here positionally. Probably just going to rock Lamar and Baker. Like if Geno was here, I think Geno with Garrett Wilson would have been justifiable, but he's gone. I don't really see what else I would mess with. Yeah. Running backs or wide receivers here. Man, I don't mind Dylan Sampson. I guess I'll take a stab on him. Ugh. See, this range of the draft is way more fun in the big board, where you can just throw all the rookie darts and just hope it breaks well and the team gets super hot in a really big contest at the end. I feel like it's a little trickier in the bigger board. Two, 5-5-3. I mean, my tight end blitz there. I really had blinders. I mean, I guess it's really just the Omar Cooper Jr. one where it's like, if I go Mark Andrews there, I guess Geno still doesn't even come back to me in the 13th. I'm back on the clock. I'm just back to my rookie wide receivers. I think you get these guys first, and then you come back and get your veterans. I mean, is there any reason we're taking these guys? Malik Washington, Tank Dell, Tyreek Hill, Tesla, Jalen Naylor. I don't know. Give me the black box here. I completely forgot to build suspense for that selection with drumroll bongos. That's my bad. That's on me. Okay, let me try this. All right. Henny says, play some fast heartbeats after every sip of coffee. I like this bit. All right, let's set this up. First, I'm going to do my last coffee pour. And I'm going to try not to trigger perfectly cromulent. There you go. What are we fucking doing in the stream? In the stream. There's a screaming man? Oh, you're right. There is way more sounds. There's a gunshot? What are we doing here? Why did StreamYard add a gunshot sound here? You guys would love this one, the booing. Yeah. We have... aggressively long laugh. Gotta have a train whistle. Here's the Scream Man that Who Hames referenced. I like this. This is just our slow march to getting replaced by AI best ball streamers. And it's just a rotating loop of these various sound effects. Peter's going to take a rookie running back here. Oh, man. I don't know. He shared the backfield with Nicholas Singleton. I'm nervous. Oh, no. The chat doesn't like Katron Allen. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Who else did you want me to take? Jordan James? I'm not pressing again. All of the other sound effects are still going. Every one of the other sound effects is like a 4-second thing, and the laugh track just loops. What are we doing here? All right, I need more rookie wide receivers. We're going to take Chris Bell. All right, come on down. Chris Bell, how do we feel about Chris Bell? All right. That's what you say. Your mic is cutting out. The mic wasn't cutting out. I just had to make room for all the sound effects. I think I'm done now, though. Jordan James is the RB2 behind CMC, and you're laughing. Yeah, audio listeners are just... Not only did they just get the ducks thrust upon them, but also Screaming Man, who also scared Megan's dog as well here, it sounds like. Oh, great. Thank you for this update. Chris Bell injured per Renner in ETR's recent wide receiver video. Great news to me. Hang on, wait a second. You say Chris Bell got injured? Feels like it. Right to the chest. Is Rashad Bateman still a thing? Or have we grown up? I have 2 more picks. I've not only have I stopped servicing the audio listeners, I've basically attacked them with a barrage of sound effects. Here is the team, though, audio listeners. If you are still listening, and I understand if you turned it off, but if you are still listening, Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield at quarterback, Barkley, Bucky Irving, Cam Scatterbo, Rico Dowdle, Dylan Sampson, Katron Allen at running back, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Jordan Addison, Chris Godwin, Omar Cooper Jr., Chris Brazzell, Chris Bell at wide receiver, and then my controversial tight end room, George Kittle, Kenyon Sadiq, and Hunter Henry. What do you guys think of this? Thank you. I appreciate that. This is very nice of you. All right. I'm just taking Rashad Bateman here. And I'm really fighting the urge to do another sound effect. I should have never have found those buttons in there. I haven't been consuming a lot of content. Who Hames, you said you were on top of the Screaming Man. Are any best ball streamers out there utilizing these sound effects? Because there's room in the market to become the sound effect best ball streamer. I think that's what we just discovered. Let's see here. What do I want to do with this last pick? We could just platoon. We could go Tongas and Kittle. Throw another stab at a wide receiver. We can do another Bryce Lance. Whatever. I'm feeling so uninspired right now at the end of these drafts. I guess I should have taken Tez, right? Our little horny short king, Tez Johnson. I should have taken Tez. Let the man live his life. All right, here's the team. Here's the team. Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, Barkley, Bucky Irvin, Cam Scatterbo, Rico Dowdle, Dylan Sampson, Katron Allen at running back. I feel like that running back room is decent. Wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Jordan Addison, Chris Godwin, Omar Cooper Jr., Chris Brazzell, Chris Bell, Rashad Bateman, Bryce Lance, tight ends, George Kittle, Kenyon Sadiq, Hunter Henry. I mean, be honest. What do you guys think? Seriously? All right, I get it. I get it. It's not great. I get it. Did you do this again, Charlie? Oh, okay. You did it. You did the Vele. The Vele, Jawan Johnson, Tyler Shuck. If you missed it last week, Charlie tilted the hell out of me with a Tyler Shuck snipe and then said one of his favorite moves was backstacking him. And he got the short treatment. Got cut into a short there. TD says, definitely feeling the 90s vibe this morning. Might watch some Family Matters after this. Hey, Matthew, I hope you're taking notes, buddy, because we're going to need this level of production heading into randomizer season. It is funny with the very first podcast I did, the Fantasy Football Comedy Hour, we built out like quite a soundboard of drops. And we were like on Fiverr getting all kinds of random people to make drops for us. I should see if I could find one of those right now. There were some good ones in there. How deep into my hard drive do I have to go to find old Fantasy Football Comedy Hour? We got to go in the archives. Man, I don't even know where this would be. Okay, there it is. Content Hub, old Fantasy Football Comedy Hour, the podcast. Fiverr. These are okay. I have a folder named Drops. Oh my God. There are like 50 drops in here. Originals. Let me see if I can find you one of the good ones. Jeez. This is taking me back. Man, I don't even know what. Let's see if will this work? Could you guys hear that, or is that not playing because it's not the Chrome tab? Let me see. Yeah, this guy was. Tell me if you guys can hear this.
Might as well slap the explicit tag on this one, fellas.
This was some dude that lives in the South, and my friend Brian's gonna kill me that I can't remember his name right now. But just really thick Southern accent, and I feel like we paid him so much money on Fiverr just because we thought everything he said was hilarious. And we made him say so many things that were really out of pocket. I feel like I didn't name these very well because I don't know what's good and what isn't. But what's this? Yeah, I don't know about these. All right, I'm not going to make you go through all my drops. I would have to curate these better.
Yowza.
Yeah, but little did I know, I still have a bunch of these drops here. I have one labeled Jeff Janis drop. What do we think this is? What in the world could Jeff Janis drop be? Let's see. I truly don't know what this is.
Jeff Janis? Ding!
Oh, yeah! Jesus. What do we have here? Okay, last one. Oh yeah. His name was Swamp Gator. That was the name of this Fiverr artist that we paid way too much money to make drops for us.
Please grow up. You're embarrassing your mama.
All right. That's all I got. Yes. Come for the best ball. Stay for the auditory assault. All right. Full week of shows on tap this week. Last week was kind of abbreviated. I was coming back from vacation. I'm also going to be working on a video here for So You Think You Can Tout. And maybe we can, I think I actually got a submission that came in on the show. We can watch them. We'll do one reaction here to I Think You Should Tout. I think in my notifications I got one here. Yeah, J-Mac tried to submit one to be a guest judge, and I immediately DQ'd him because it's a 90-second max video, and he did a 2-minute video. Let's see here. I haven't not seen this one from Trev. Let's see how Trev does. Trev is getting limelight here just because it's the most recent one, and I'll give you my thoughts on his submission here.
Trevor, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
29 years old, so probably can't be a running back anymore, but perfect to be a fantasy analyst.
Tell us a little bit about your fantasy accomplishments.
Fantasy just paid for a 3-month vacation for me. DFS, best ball, dynasty leagues, home leagues, away leagues, your leagues.
My leagues?
Sure.
So I heard you guys went on a little trip. Are you happy to be home?
Happy?
Hey, babe. Thinking about fading KD up to 3 this year. I think RB11 is too steep for the guy that's never been a real workhorse. Plus, I don't really trust the Chiefs' offense this year. What do you think?
Happiness is a complex emotion.
So why do you think you can tout?
Because I'm a fantasy genius and a content machine.
You've literally never made content.
Look, I've been dominating leagues since I was a kid. First ever team I drafted had a Chambers and Rivers stack. The industry didn't start stacking until 10 years later. I was on the playground chasing girls with Edgerrin James efficiency metrics. You want me to drink True Serum? Really? You don't think I'm being myself? Oh, the fuck? Oh my God. I don't think we should be drafting rookies in large field best ball contests.
Hey, what the heck?
I know. The top rookies are being overdrafted. They have been for years. We're drafting them at their ceilings.
All right. Kudos there to Trev. It was a good submission. It checks a few different boxes for me. First of all, it's unique in this. This is the first one to really utilize someone else. I assume this is his wife or his girlfriend or whoever. I believe the first submission that is featured a female. So kudos to Trev on breaking that ground for us. By the way, ladies, I need you guys to apply. I need at least a few of you to apply. It can't be all dudes. I'm begging you, ladies. I'm begging you, please apply. Also, what a nice kitchen that Trev has. Are you kidding me? Incredible kitchen. I liked a few of the different editing scene gags there. The crickets having never made content before was a nice touch. I liked the props there with the True Serum take. Pretty good True Serum take. Pushing against conventional wisdom that we overdraft the rookies. A little lukewarm. I still really want the True Serum take that pops, but that's been fairly elusive. But pretty good here as far as comedic timing and a fairly creative submission there from Trev. So congratulations, Trev. you got to be an example here on the show. And if you guys want to go through my timeline, I have shared a bunch of these, and you can kind of see what we're working with. I also did on After Dark, I did kind of a long rant about True Serum stuff. So if you guys are YouTube members, you want to watch that. But I've had a blast seeing all of these submissions come in, and a ton of creativity. And yeah, looking forward to seeing even more. And like I said, I'm going to put a video together, hopefully this week, kind of FAQ stuff, showing some of the funnier bits that I've enjoyed. But yeah, get your submissions in. If you guys missed it, it's over on the Deposit Kingdom channel is the full announcement video. And in the announcement video description, you'll find the link to the form submission. And you can also find that on my Twitter and all of that good stuff as well. Yeah, blue lit black splash is nice. Yeah, exactly. Okay. I think that's it for me. Like I said, normal slate of shows this week. So that includes Off and On the Clock tomorrow with John and Nez. I actually need to talk to them about what we're going to do. Maybe we'll do some hoop stuff, some NBA playoff best ball. I'll touch base with those guys. Swolecast tomorrow as well. I believe we're doing a Masters Calcutta. So if you guys are a YouTube member on the Swolecast channel, hop in the Deposit Kingdom Discord in the Swoley channel if you guys want to be involved in that Swolecutta. Ship chasing on Wednesday. We are going to get a ship chasing proper on Wednesday. Obviously, ADP chasing will be Tuesday night, tomorrow night. But Pat, Jacob, Davis, myself, we'll get a show going on Wednesday. Thursday, I'll have the Battle Royale Bash. And then I also have booked Denny Carter for After Dark Friday at 8 p.m. So that is my show schedule for this week. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the Deposit Kingdom channel so you don't miss future, so you think you can tout content. Thank you to everyone for keeping me on track today. Good luck as you get in the final streamed drafts, or sorry, they're streamed drafts for me, your final drafts before the NFL draft and before these contests close. And we'll see you guys next time on Best Ball Breakfast. Peace.